Get ready to be inspired by the great things happening in rural education. The Rural Scoop will bring you new ideas and innovative solutions. We'll dive into education issues and we'll highlight what's working in your rural communities. You'll hear from a variety of educators, administrators, professionals, and others who will provide relevant and engaging content in each episode. And now, for a special episode recorded at the Arizona Rural Schools Association Conference, here's your host, Ty White.
All right. So to break the ice, the first thing I want to ask you, just to show you no trick questions, would you just introduce yourself? Tell everyone why you're here.
I'm Rachel Willis. I was lucky enough to work for Wickenburg High School, Wickenburg Unified School District, and I was lucky enough to be nominated for Teacher of Distinction. And so...
Very cool. That's awesome. So this is probably your first time then?
First time, yeah.
Okay. What's been your favorite part about the conference so far?
So being a teacher is a humble,
Sure.
job, and we're thankful for it. It is very, I felt like a rock star when I walked in, and people were super accommodating and they were celebrating all these teachers. And I think as an educator, you want to surround yourself with great people, and it's been fun to collaborate and hear what other people are doing. Yeah.
Really cool answer, actually.
So
first one like that, yeah. What has been your rural experience?
I'm a teacher's kid. Both of my parents were teachers, and they taught in international schools. And then they decided when we were in junior high that we should have an American kind of education. So we moved to Wickenburg, and I thought cowboys and all that were just in cartoons. I didn't know. So I grew up small town, and then left to go to college, and then came back to the same high school that I went to, and some of my staying teachers are still there. What do I love about rural schools? Wickenburg feels like a community. I was a counselor at the junior high and high school for a long time, and switched back to teaching 4 years ago. But we have a community that's super supportive, and I think most rural schools are like that, where you're the hub of. We serve 1,000 square miles, so you kind of become the heartbeat of this kind of community, and people come together. Relationships are super important. So I run our internship program, and I'm super lucky because there's always businesses that are willing to partner with us. There's always people that are willing to come share their expertise. And I think that comes easily in small rural communities.
All right. I think you kind of got ahead and answered a different question I was going to ask you. What does the expression "the rural advantage" mean to you?
I feel lucky that I truly, I should say double-edged sword, but most days I feel super lucky that I can go to a grocery store or whatever, and I can see my kids. I know our families. I think education's easier when you have great partnerships and great communication. I think that's easier in rural schools. There definitely is an advantage. I feel really lucky, and it's a choice to be where I'm at. I could teach anywhere, and I choose to be there because I love what I do. I love our community, and I'm grateful to be there.
I'll bet you they're going to use that as the wrap up, best answer to title. That was good. This is why you're here too. One of the things I love about this conference is that ARSA celebrates 10 outstanding teachers. All of y'all have done amazing work to get to be here. And I'm kind of turning that around to everyone and asking them if they would share with us a story of one of your teachers that impacted you.
Sure. I know the cliche answer would be, I grew up with teachers. My parents were both teachers. I'm a fourth generation teacher. And I think when you are a teacher's kid, the teaching comes home with them, and I grew up seeing my parents teaching didn't stop at 3:30 when school got over, and they were, we showed up to help people in the community. It was definitely more than just a job. And so I've learned a ton from them. Personally, I can still remember being in third grade and having a teacher invite me to, we lived in Japan at the time, invite me to this Japanese festival. And it was, I don't know, just a cool, special, she didn't have kids, and it made like my best friend and I feel like super special. And she, kept in touch when I moved back to the States. And I think there's lots of amazing teachers. And when you said you guys, celebrate, 10 teachers of distinction, it feels like a celebration. I'm just really humbled and grateful for that. And I think you don't become good at teaching without surrounding yourself with great people. It's a team effort. And, I'm just here because I have good people around me.
You know how to work this. Like, those are great answers. But, and then they'll take my talking out and the editing. I know exactly what you mean, because my third grade teacher was Mrs. Jackson.
Yes.
I remember she took us on an overnight field trip to Tucson, and just what an experience it was. Yeah. You remember it forever.
Yeah.
So one of the things, like you've already said here, is that you're being surrounded by great people, and everyone here is part of a network, but they also have the outside network that's not here. If there was someone you feel like, if there was someone, someone that should be here.
Yeah.
What would you say to them that would help convince them to come next year?
I feel embarrassed to say this. I didn't know that ARSA was a thing. And I've been a teacher in a rural school for a really long time. And I believe in membership kind of stuff is important. I believe, join. I didn't know. So I will do a better job of.
Well, and the question's not that.
No, I just mean I think it is a resource and an asset. And I think part of it is just getting the word out. Our school, like most schools right now, the turnover is crazy. And so as someone that's been there a long time, I think it's my job to help people make those connections. This would be super powerful for so many of my peers. And, we'll be back next year as a team and not solo, for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to The Rural Scoop. Please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe, or even leave us a comment. And be sure to follow on Twitter at Dr. Sadorf. That's Dr_SADORF, so that you never miss a new release. You can also check out previous episodes of The Scoop wherever you get your podcasts. Production support for The Rural Scoop is provided by Chattanooga Podcast Studios. Find out more at ChattanoogaPodcastStudios.com. See you next time for more great discussions about rural education.